I set out to create the most efficient and versatile YouTube creator setup, and I gotta say, mission accomplished. What looks like just a clean, minimalist composition can turn into a whole lot more without moving a single light stand.
I'm a cool pot of water about to burn you. Keep my chill till I'm hot, then I hurt you. Unpredictable, yo. Don't know when the whistle gon' blow. Drew a line in the sand, better step up. Toe to toe with the queen, don't you let up. Unpredictable, yo. Don't know when the whistle gon' blow.
Basic top light, backlight, silhouette, super basic top light, no backlight. Side lights if I want to come in like Batman. Really dynamic with just a backlight and one side light, and that's all just one color. Get some rainbow stripes in the back, rainbow stripes in the front, balance it out with one key to the side. Maybe we're going for a club scene, getting arrested, a stormy night. Or if you like the warmer vibes, you can do that too. Over the years, I've created so many different YouTube setups. If you've been a subscriber for a long time, you know this, that when you click on one of my videos, you don't exactly know where I'm going to be in the room. And so the amount of time that I spend in between videos setting up and tearing down and moving lights throughout the room has just gotten a little ridiculous. And with someone who has 2 kids, dogs, a wife, like a lot going on during the day, I don't have those 1 to 3 hours that I would spend setting up, kind of resetting the place. Those hours need to be spent actually filming and doing the content of the video. I remember seeing 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗞 specifically create some really awesome videos where he would make an all-in-one desk setup, and that kind of jump-started my journey to figuring out my version of that. So first, let's break down the key component to this entire setup, and that is the brand new Nanlite PavoTube line of series. It's not even one PavoTube anymore. So Nanlite was awesome. They sent their entire new lineup of both their 4-footers as well as 2 of their 8-foot PavoTubes. So new PavoTubes, awesome. They basically fixed every complaint that I had about the first generation. So after many hours of trial and error, just finding the best setup and the most versatile and how I like the light to hit me and products in different ways, this is what we came up with. So we're using 2 PavoTube 30X, the 4-foot versions on the sides, and then an 8-foot as my kind of key up front, and an 8-foot in the back. Now the 8-foot versions, I basically just have wide open. I don't have any barn doors on those, mostly because I don't think they make an 8-foot version. Maybe they do. But my key light is basically just sitting on 2 of those newer clamp desk light stand things, and then using the included Nanlite clamps, simple as that. And then on the back, we're using, again, 2 clamps just screwed into the wall. And then to cover up the 4-foot versions, we are using the new grid system, which I really like because I can actually turn these slightly. And even though now it's still on, it's away from me. It's about right here. So if I wanted to hold up a product and have it a little bit brighter than me, then I can do that, or aim it back here, and I'm not getting too much spill on the back wall. It's very directed at me, which I like. And again, what I like about this setup is it just still feels so open to the whole room. Oh, also, some people have asked where I got this painting from. The artist's name is 𝗬𝗛𝗚𝗏, probably saying the last name wrong, but she's incredible, and I wish I could have afforded the original of this. She has another one. As soon as I can afford to spend a couple $1,000 on just a fine art piece, I love this painting so much. So having just the smaller print is enough for me, and it fit well with this setup with the whole black and white theme going on in the back. But anyway, I'll link her stuff in the description. You can check it out. Pausing from the lights for a moment for my mic, I'm still using my Rode NTG4 Plus, but instead of having it on a C-stand, again, I didn't want anything on the ground, I brought over from my desk this Throne Max boom arm that I was using with my podcast microphone. I can kind of bring it up, down, move it left to right if I needed to, all while it still remains just out of frame. There it is, touching the tip right now. And so that feeds right into my camera, which is the only thing that is really touching the ground. My Pocket 6K never moves now, unless I'm hired for a really big production that I need to take both my 6K and 6K Pro. I'm using my IRIX 15mm lens, and then I'm using the Hollyland Cosmo C1 to wirelessly transmit to my OC Megamon 15, which I just did a video on last week about. You can check it out up here. So no longer am I really using the 5-inch monitor that I have on top, because always squinting like, is there something in frame? Am I in focus? Now I just have a nice 15-inch monitor right here. I can clearly see everything and that I'm in focus. And then to get focus, I actually have connected to that a long micro USB cable. Below the desk, I have my Nucleus Nano Follow Focus. And so now I can change focus whenever I want by just reaching down here. So I can be close focus on like my phone or something, and then come back to me. There we are. But one of the issues with having so many accessories is powering all of that. So I used to have like NPF batteries everywhere, V-mounts, internal batteries, obviously lights need to be powered. And now I have simplified everything to the point where the cameras and monitors and mics and everything are all powered by 2 V-mounts. We have 1 V-mount connected to the camera, which is powering obviously the camera and the transmitter on the C1. And then we have a V-mount on the back of the Megamon, which is also powering both the follow focus system and the wireless receiver. Now, all these PavoTubes have internal batteries, and for the most part, I don't really have to worry about them dying. They all last for many hours. Sure, I could plug them all in, leave it plugged in, and then have infinite power. But 2 reasons I'm not doing that. 1, I want to keep this area super clean and minimal. And again, little kids running around, I don't want them tripping on a bunch of cables. I don't want to be tripping on a bunch of cables. So what I do is at night, I just kind of plug all the lights in, make sure they're charged, ready to go, and then I don't really have to worry about them on a daily basis. And the second reason is when you plug in something that's battery operated and you leave it plugged in for like 90% of its life, you're really kind of destroying that battery. It's kind of like my internal battery on my camera. I never really unplug it, and the V-mount is always keeping it charged up. So that Canon little whatever battery in there, E6, is probably going to last all of 5 or 10 minutes at this point, 3 years later, because it's just been constantly charged. Another huge reason I chose to go with a setup like this is because the PavoTubes are finally Bluetooth powered. I would not want to go through the stress of like changing all these sets if I had to walk over to each individual thing and dial it in. The fact that I can easily turn on and off, change the colors, change the levels and intensities all from the new Nanlite app. And if you've used like the Sirius system from that Aperture uses, it is a very, very similar setup. You can create presets, you can rename lights, you can add, remove, group things together, and of course change all the various features and effects that each individual light can do. And so being able to sit in this spot, look at my monitor, and kind of change my intensity levels or turn on and off lights like I was doing before is one of the best things ever. So I know when I'm talking about products, I usually get to a section where I talk about the bad stuff. And to be honest, there isn't much to talk about the bad. I am so excited for this setup. I mean, if I had to really nitpick, the only look that I cannot get with these lights really is when you use a softbox, especially a smaller one, you get kind of that like natural vignette dome sort of look where if I had a softbox, right here, 45 degrees that you normally do, then I'd kind of get a nice vignette right here. If I turn off my side light and backlight to where I'm just using this front bar, you can see that I am definitely getting it's not really a vignette, it's more like a gradient. If I turn this up, it is 50% right here. Because it's just one long bar, it's basically hitting, everything evenly. But again, if I really, really wanted that look for a thing, I bring in one light stand, bring in the softbox, not touch, move any of this, and just shoot it through here, and that's fine too. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this setup. It has taken years to get to a setup like this, but of course, I like filming in other spaces too. So don't think that, okay, this is the only angle you're getting on this channel. This is just kind of like my home base. I've really been analyzing a lot of other creators, and I really like Peter McKinnon, for example. Dude's constantly out and about doing different things, showing different parts of his studio out in the world. But then he has 1 or 2 kind of home-based setups that he comes back to in his studio that's probably always rigged up, always ready to go. And it's just easy to kind of, hey, I need to sit down and talk to a camera and just kind of click record without having to reset each time. So what do you guys think about this setup? Do you like it? What is your favorite kind of color setup? Do you like the rainbow effect in the background? Do you like this kind of more dominantly one-sided Rembrandt lighting? What do you think? Tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell me down below in the comments a lighting setup I should do. And in one of my upcoming videos, whatever the top comment is, I will do that. I don't care how crazy it is. If you want paparazzi flash coming at me and police car here and this here, or if you actually want to try to create a really nice setup, you could tell me that too, but I have a feeling that people are gonna go crazy. But yeah, whatever the top comment is that is a lighting setup, I'll give it a shot and I'll do it in my next video. Now, if you're here, cinematography, filmmaking, photography, it's probably something you're interested, especially if you made it this far. So if you want to see why I think in 2022, shooting a lot more on your phone compared to maybe spending a lot more money on a budget mirrorless camera may be the better option, you should check out this video over here.